What's up, world? We are back again. It's been a little hiatus, but we are back with more sports. I am Ranked Dog, and this is Top Ranked Sports. Let's get it. Army versus number 10 Michigan Wolverines. Let's jump right into it. It was a great game. Anybody paying attention to it, because you like the sweep on games that don't feature your best teams. But let's stop sleeping on Army. Those guys go to war every freaking Saturday. Went down to the wire, double overtime scare against the Wolverines. Shea Patterson, where have you been? You did enough to get the win. But did you really bring your A game? The game went down 21-24, double overtime. If Army would have made a field goal, one field goal, the game would have never went into overtime. It would have been over. That running onslaught took it to Michigan. Is Michigan going to be able to handle Wisconsin coming up for their next game? With Jonathan Taylor in the backfield, we do not know. But we know that Army cannot recruit a kicker, because why would you want to go to Army as a kicker? Just think about it. You're going to be kicking balls, then going to war next week. Too bad they couldn't bring out the upset. Michigan prevails. Next game, we want to talk about number 6 Ohio State against Cincinnati Bearcats. Now, it was a 42-0 whopping. That was the worst game Cincinnati could have ever played. But I did turn on to ESPN and hear one of the pundits say that this was going to be a great game. In-state rivalry. For some reason, people are sleeping on Justin Fields. I get it. Jake Fromm ran him out of Georgia. He's not the quarterback of the Georgia Bulldogs, but he did go to the Ohio State University. He's now a Buckeye. He won the starting spot. He tore the field up for 224 yards in the air with 2 touchdowns. J.K. Dobbins in the backfield, rushing over 100 yards for 141 yards. J.K. Dobbins, one of the premier backs in college today. Look forward to Ohio State having a great season. Shout out to that offense. They're everything they're stacked up to be. Even though this is the softy cupcake week, everybody plays a cupcake team, but it's always good when you get out your fork, stick right through that cupcake, eat it all up. Like a grown man. Kids eat cupcakes with their hands. Now I want to get into LSU, Texas. This probably was the game of the night. The only reason I say probably, because it could have been Army, Michigan, even though LSU and Texas is 2 of the premier teams, 2 top Power 5 conference teams. They went down to the wire, score being 45-38. Joe Burrow, another quarterback, transferred around versus Sam Ehlinger of the Texas Longhorns. 2 gunslingers slinging the ball all over the field. Total offense for LSU, 573 yards with 471 in the air from Jake Burrow, spreading it all out. Joe Burrow, I don't know why I keep calling him Jake. I guess because I'm thinking about Jake Fromm, the guy who's taking over the Southeastern Conference. But back to Joe Burrow. Tough kid. He takes every hit to the face. You can hit that man 100 times. He's going to throw 100 more yards on top of that. 471 yards through the freaking air. Oh my God. How do you stop that? That's a quarterback. Ehlinger right behind him with 401 yards, but that was not enough to stop the LSU offense. LSU defense was a little bit shaky, but they did just enough to win the game. On to the next, Oregon versus Nevada. 77-6 onslaught. First, I want to say, War Eagle took those guys out last week, but you saw Herbert in the pocket, still made some great decisions against my Auburn Tigers. But let's talk about what they did against Nevada. Herbert slinging the ball for 310 yards, 5 touchdowns through the air. Oh my God. Like I said, this is how you handle a weaker opponent. This is how you men handle a team. You bounce back from your loss against a better opponent, but you have the possible Heisman, one of the top picks next year's draft. That's how you play freaking football. Well, just so you guys won't call me a hater, let's talk about that other team on the other side of the state. Not this one. The Alabama Elephants. I mean, Crimson Tide. Okay, let's talk about this 62-10 whopping over New Mexico State. I'm not even going to stay on this long. Everyone that loves Alabama, you already know the defense is hard-nosed. They hit you in the mouth. The offense, one of the fastest offenses in Alabama history. There's never been a receiving core consistently this fast from the X to the Z. This is awesome. Jerry Jeudy, one of the fastest players in college football today. I hate talking like this, but when you take that receiving core, put Tua Tagovailoa under center, it's unstoppable. New Mexico State looked like Wahoma football. They looked like Alabama A&M versus Alabama. It was horrible. But we got to see the high-powered offense. So if you are an Alabama fan, you got to see what everybody on that offense does, how Alabama can spread you out, and they can bring you back in and condense it with that running game. We're not going to talk about numbers. We know they were freaking great. We know it was a crazy game. On to the next. Let's talk about Maryland. Number 21, Maryland? Football? Against Syracuse, I thought this was a basketball game, but the score indicated that it wasn't. Maryland dropped basketball numbers with 63 points in a football game against Syracuse, only dropping 20. Maryland was blessed when Josh Jackson decided to transfer. There's so many transfer quarterbacks this year in football. Maryland was blessed. Josh Jackson leaving Virginia Tech, throwing for 296 yards with 3 touchdowns. 63-20. Maryland football dropped 63 points. Caption that. On to the last thing. We're going to talk about, well, if we talked about Alabama, we got to talk about Oklahoma. Because for some reason this year, Alabama and Oklahoma is hand in hand. Every Alabama fan, I got to watch Oklahoma. You guys sat on the toilet, boo-booed all on Jalen Hurts. You guys said, oh, you're a great competitor. You're a big-time quarterback. But not Tua. Tua comes in one game his freshman year. Granted, it was the national championship that Jalen Hurts almost lost. But Jalen Hurts twice took that team to the national championship. You get rid of them, and now what you want to do? You want to watch Oklahoma games. So are you really happy for Jalen Hurts? The fact that he threw for 259 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions? The guys that you said, Nick Saban, Alabama Crimson Tide faithful, you guys said that Jalen Hurts can't pass. He can't throw a beach ball in the ocean. You guys said that he's not a legit quarterback. Well, look at him now. Looks like the next Oklahoma Heisman. We won't see to the end of the season, but you Alabama fans can keep praising, cheering for Oklahoma and Jalen Hurts. But what happens when you have to see him the first round of the playoffs and he tears a new butthole in there? What are you gonna do? You gonna cry? Or you gonna say, congratulations, Hurts? Hope you win the natty. Until next time, this has been Top Rank Sports. Fell off a little bit. Back with the jump off, baby. All touchdowns, baby. War Eagle, stay tuned for the bonus footage. Got to talk about my boys. Till next time, it's been the Guru. And that's not a longhorn.